Hello, and welcome back to the Journey with Bingpe. Today, I'll be taking you through my trials and triumphs in my endometriosis treatment. Don't go anywhere, sit back, relax, and I'll be right back. I mentioned in my previous episode that I underwent extensive treatment for endometriosis. Yes, I did. Like I said, I knew what I was up against. It was endometriosis. So the treatment was now specific. But before my diagnosis, I was already on hormonal therapy. In this case, it was a birth control pill that I had to take orally, was prescribed by my doctor. They didn't relieve my symptoms. But after my first surgical procedure, I had a temporary relief. Just after my surgical procedure. So I took the oral contraceptive in question just before the surgical procedure. And after the surgical procedure, with which I was diagnosed with endometriosis, just about 2 months after, the symptoms returned with full force. And my doctor had to prescribe another medication. This time it was Depo-Provera. I had to take this as an injection every 12 weeks, which ceased my period for a while, for a period of time. And it actually offered some relief. But all of a sudden, from nowhere, the symptoms came back. I started bleeding profusely. I was in and out of the hospital, because of the bleeding. And eventually I was actually admitted before the bleeding subsided. I became very confused. I was completely confused. So my doctor recommended Mirena. Mirena is a hormone-releasing intrauterine device. After about 2 months of, having Mirena in place, I just suddenly started bleeding heavily with huge clots. It was like the size of a tennis ball, huge clots. And I just really wondered where that came from. Because since I had Mirena, things have been under control. Of course, I still had pain. I still had, a bit of bleeding and some little clots. But it suddenly became very heavy. And then it was established that the Mirena was no longer in place. I became paranoid. I was so scared. In fact, every little feeling in my stomach became, the Mirena. I would say, hey, maybe the Mirena is here or there. And it became the story of the missing Mirena. And then I was placed on the same tablet, which I took for a few months. I think I took it for about 9 months before I discontinued it because of intolerable side effects. At this point, my doctor recommended Mirena for the second time. I said, Mirena ke. Because I thought, I don't want to go back to that same drama with Mirena, with the missing one. But for the second time, I took the Mirena. I agreed to it. And I'll be honest with you, it didn't offer any help this time. In fact, my symptoms became very extreme. And I was diagnosed with adenomyosis. So my doctor had to prescribe Zoladex. That's Zoladex injections. And it offered immense relief, yes. But the relief didn't extend to the abdominal pain, which I still experienced, from time to time. I think adenomyosis is something I'll describe as a nightmare. Yes, endometriosis is terrible, but adenomyosis is a nightmare. To all our viewers, finding the right treatment for endometriosis can be a complex process. it is a trial and error process, which for me was physically and emotionally draining. It required immense patience, a lot of strength, and a strong supportive network of friends and family. So to everyone out there affected by endometriosis, I want you to remember that you are not alone. And please never give up hope. There is definitely light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you to everyone who has been watching. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And hit the notification bell. And I'll see you next week. It's bye for now.